Hi, this is David Odell with Odell Complete Concrete. Today we're going to be removing this driveway and putting a new one in. And you can see there's some brick ribbon on the sides there. They're not very well done, so they're coming apart and they're sinking down, and they're done separately from the actual driveway itself, so that's why they don't hold up. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to put brick ribbons in the right way and how to make the foundation continuous with the driveway so the brick sits on top of the driveway and it's not separate, it's all one piece. Also, we will be changing this. There's a gas meter there that you can see, and it's unusual setup. I've never really ran into this before, which is surprising considering how long I've been doing this. It's an underground vault for a gas meter. The whole meter is underground right there in that vault. This driveway is coming out real easy. There's no rebar or wire mesh in it, so they come out easy when they don't have steel in them. And that's why I'm replacing it, and that's why I replaced so many, because they don't have the reinforcement in it. The city crew went through and replaced this portion of the apron approach and city sidewalk a few weeks back, so you can see that dirt space at the bottom. And what we had the city do on that deal was just break out a portion of the driveway and put the sidewalk at the correct level rather than having to match the driveway, which was at the wrong level because it had been raised up a bit from a tree. That way they could get their form lumber in, pour the sidewalk, and now we have a good edge to work against for the new driveway. So that brick there is there's some split brick, and they're just sitting on maybe 2 inches of mortar or something, very minimal. So as soon as you drive something over something like that, it just comes apart. Fortunately, it was on the edges mostly, and you didn't get a lot of traffic on those, so it did last for quite a while. You can see some of the roots under there. There was a tree in here previously, probably had been removed about 10 years ago. So I'm on a dump run right now. My sons are here. I'm continuing the break. They opted away from using the electric jackhammer because they like breaking it by hand with a 20-pound sledge and a bar. There's a lot of activity going on this street right now. There's some synthetic grass going in across the street, as you can see there in the background. The whole front yard's going artificial turf, which I personally don't care for. So on this driveway here, we're going to be putting some brick ribbons, is what I call them, along both edges, the outside edges of the driveway. So what I'll do, so I have a base already pre-made for the brick, is I'll thicken the edge. I'll dig out the edges a little thicker than the normal 4 inches all the way across, so it'll kind of drop down on the edges to about 6 or 7 inches. And then I'll set a 2x2 form suspended in the air on the inside edge of the brick, and the concrete will go underneath that, and that'll lay the groundwork for the brick ribbon. I use split bricks, so then you don't have to dig as deep down and you get a good concrete base. Split bricks are fine for just about anything. The main thing is you just got to make sure you get a solid mortar bed under there without any pockets, because if you do and you drive over them, they're going to crack. So you want to make sure that's solid under those bricks. Also, we have another video, and that's the backyard patio, and we call that particular video a beginner's patio, and we kind of break it down for somebody that wants to attempt to do a small patio by themselves or with one helper. So we just about got this graded out. We have the plate compactor ready to go. Throw a little water on here. Hope it doesn't get sticky. A lot of these soils get kind of sticky when you try to compact them the same day that you water it down. So this gas meter, I've already preset that. I met the gas company out here. I didn't show that in the video, but they came out and they set the box, in an approximate location that I wanted it, and I was able to meet them out here. And then we adjusted the elevation so that it would match the new grade of the driveway. Anyway, they came out here and did that for free, and they were very prompt about it. So if you ever need a box for me, I don't know the water company per se, but I have done some stuff with the water company. They'll drop the boxes off as well if you give them a little notice. If you need some new water meter boxes because they may be cracked or whatever. But it's all free service. So I've got my outside form set, and that's actually the outside of where the brick ribbon's going to go. And that's down 2 inches below the top of driveway. And then I'm going to hang a 2x2 on the inside of the brick. That'll just kind of be suspended in the air where the concrete can flow under that and then top out on that outside 2x4. And then I got a nice straight edge for the brick to set on. I just put a couple cleats on the top, so a couple 6 duplex nails on each side of those little wood stakes I got going across those ribbons. Now this rebar is going to run. You can do this particular brick ribbon setup also across the middle in both directions. Same technique. You just need 2 2x2s railroaded together, kind of like a railroad, and you can build it outside and drop it in and suspend it and let the concrete go under it. And then your rebar you put in first, of course. That way it's continuous underneath all your brick ribbon. Like we have here, the rebar goes underneath the brick ribbon, so it's still all one piece of concrete. That means the brick can't move separately. Like in a lot of cases, I've seen where people do the bricks afterwards, but it's not a monolithic pour. That's what the brick's going to set on. You can see that outside forms a 2x4, with the inside's a 2x2. The rebar goes right across and underneath. That way that edge can't break off and settle on you. Now here's your other brick ribbon on the other side. and it's just going to end right there. This house had a modification at some point. They two-storied the single-story garage, and the footing protruded outside of that garage door. So I didn't want to toy with that and chip it down, so I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit and then poured against it. See the concrete sticking out in front of that door? Well, that's when they beefed up that footing underneath so they could two-story the thing. And then they got all this jagged concrete sticking out, which is actually the footing, and it's at grade. It would have been nice if they put it below grade. I could have poured over it, but, you know, we had to deal with what we got here. Now I'm spraying it down with some motor oil. Used motor oil out of my truck, which I like to use that Mobil 1 synthetic 100%. Then I just throw it in my sprayer and I spray it on the wood. Then I can take these forms out the same day without disturbing my fresh concrete. This particular job, I'm going to pour it, strip it, and I'm done with it after today. Now, it's important to mention, since we just seen that meter there, that gas meter vault, the thing to do when you're pouring concrete around meters with removable lids is you take the lids out, or you flip them upside down. That way you don't get concrete all over them. Then you put them in later. We're going to be using a 3,000 psi concrete. It's going to be a pea gravel mix, which is about 3/8 gravel. Today I have a new pumper on site. I've used this I've known him for about 30 years though, off and on. He's pumped a lot for me, for my father, my brothers. So he's back on the job site. Big Al Concrete Pumping. He's located in Norco. Just moved somewhere in that vicinity. I've got some styrofoam expansion joint at the bottom where we meet the city sidewalk down here. The nice thing about this particular product for expansion joint, it has a removable 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch top perforated, so you can pull that out and then you can put some caulking in there if you want to waterproof it from getting water underneath the slab from runoff and what have you. But I don't like to really caulk anything, because caulking means maintenance, and you got to keep doing it, because caulking only lasts so long and it cracks. So if we rod this out, we'll just run I got the 3.5 foot magnesium bowl float, which is what I prefer to use over the wood or the fiberglass bowl floats. I like this old-fashioned magnesium, because you can lay it down once and you don't have to toy with it for quite a long time until you really want to get down to business and hit it with some boards. If you had to hit that with the woody, you'd probably have to hit it with the Fresno, funny, you know. Just keep working it, but I can drop it, lay it down with the magnesium once, come back an hour later and knock it out. What we're doing there with that string line is I'm snapping some lines on there for my joint layout. So I'm going to wet cut this today. It's a small enough driveway, and got enough help where I could cut this thing out one day. I'm going to run one joint. Kind of we're going with what looks good from the street, and I centered this joint on the middle of the garage door. And then I also went off the corner of the house, so even though this driveway is wider than the corner of the house there, it'll kind of simulate a walkway going through that side gate. Now I'm dropping Big Blue on there. It's just a monster size Fresno basically that lays it down real quick, real flat. No chatter marks. One pass. We had some really good quality concrete here, and a lot of times you can pull it off where you can just break out the old whip and hit it, run all your walking tools, and never have to get out there on your knees and bust it down. And in this case, it was one of those days where the concrete was good, everything went real well, so I was able to hit everything with the walker tools and put the final finish on it. Some cases you had to get out there in boards and try to break it down. Maybe the concrete quality's not that good, or for whatever reason you just like the knee board stuff. But here's what it looks like when you're all said and done. Nice broom finish. Maximum traction going up the hill. I sprayed some concrete cure on there. This is the time of year I always use concrete cure though, where everything's hot and drying fast. And that's what it looks like when it's all said and done. The brick, the homeowner's elected to do that himself, and it's going to be really easy at this point because all he's got to do is throw just maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of mortar underneath that brick, drop them in there, and then grout in between them. So it's a real butterball at this point. We got about a good 1.5 inch bed there for the splits to fit in. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like my videos and you want to see more, we're always putting up new ones every week. So subscribe if you want to see the latest and greatest. Thank you.